So let's try this first question. It says find two angles theta on the unit circle with theta between 0 and 2 pi. In other words, theta could be from 0 all the way around to 2 pi. Does that make sense? Okay, so but we're not going to the negative because this domain here says it's just from 0 to 2 pi. We're not needing to go backwards. Okay, so the first question is cos theta equals a quarter. First of all, I noticed cos theta is positive. Which quadrants have a positive angle for cos? A and C. So the angle could be here or the angle could be here. Now, I know some teachers teach it differently, but girls, I'm all about those lines. Some teachers tick quadrants, others shade them. You're doing it like I do it. Lines, okay? Now, where that here is theta and that here is theta. So far, so good, girls? Oh, sorry, you know what I should be doing, because we're going to do differently for each one. I should draw a new circle, ASTC, and that there is theta, and that there is theta. So, girls, what that means is our two angles are just theta, but also look at this. Go around, 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 around. That's 2 pi, but then back theta. So it's going to be 2 pi minus theta is the other angle. So first of all, I want to find the acute version. I can just use inverse cos, right? So theta, is inverse cos of a quarter. Can someone do that on their calculator? Oh, but can you make sure your calculator is in radians, girls? Does it have an R on top? Nope, then do it again. Change your mode, do it. Has anyone got the answer? It should be a decimal. So girls, that's the acute version. Stay with me, that's the acute version. That's this one here. So now, how do I find my other one? And I mentioned it a second ago. From 2 pi, very nice that you said 2 pi, not 360. Okay, so 2 pi minus 1.318. Could someone put that last one in your calculator and tell me what you get? So my two answers are 1.318. Beautiful. I'll leave it at that. Okay, thank you so much. So that's my two answers. Now, girls, what was the clue in the question to say that your answer had to be radians? Yes, so this here says your answer has to be in radians because they're using 2 pi. They didn't use the word radians, but that doesn't matter. That's enough of a clue, okay? Something I noticed in the test is some people don't want to leave it in radians, though they want to put it back in degrees. Don't do that. You've got to fight that urge. I know you've been working with degrees for years. You've got to fight it, okay? Radians is good. Now, let's try the next question. Tan theta equals 3. So, girls, what's my first step? Yeah, you could do that. Just find the acute angle first. Theta equals inverse tan of 3. What's that in radians? 1.249. Let's do that. 1.249. Now, that's just the acute angle. So what's my next step? Draw the unit circle. I don't know what I'm finding yet. I need to draw it. So I draw a unit circle, ASTC. And girls, I want to see those letters ASTC. I absolutely want to see them, even if they're out here, ASTC. That's fine. I've seen some people do that, but I want those letters, okay? Now, tell me what quadrants could my angle be in? If tan is positive, which in this case it is. A and T, or first and third. So there and there, where that's theta and that's theta. So tell me, how am I going to find my other answer, the one in T? Pi plus theta. Yes, sorry, I interrupted you. But girls, so understand the movement. We move pi plus another theta because we continue moving in the anti-clockwise direction, so we're plussing. So over here, I'm going to write 1.249 plus pi, which equals, okay, so my first answer is that. What's my other answer? 4.391, beautiful, thank you. Guys, let's look at C. Help me out, what's the first thing I would do? Tan inverse, so theta equals inverse tan of -1. Now, here's the thing though, we should actually know that. Does anyone, first of all, what if it was just 1? Does anyone know what tan would be? 45 degrees, or in radians? Pi over 4. So girls, for now, this is the acute version, pi on 4. Now, I want you to get more used to writing angles as pi on something and leaving it like that. You do not now need to put this in your calculator and find out what that is. You leave it as pi on 4. But that's the acute angle. I'm not sure if I want the acute angle. Which quadrants do I want? Sorry? S and C, because tan is negative in this case. So let's draw a unit circle. Oops. A, S, T, C. And I want to be in there and there, where inside there is theta, or pi on 4 in this case. So girls, now this here, this one we found before, that's the acute version. If you want, you can even write acute theta. But now let's find our proper answer. How would I find the first one? In other words, how would I find this one? Pi minus pi on 4? Yes, because watch this movement. I go forward pi, but then back pi on 4. So I'm minus pi on 4. What about the other one? I'm just going to leave that as it is for now. What about, sorry? Beautiful. 2 pi minus pi on 4. Oops, whoa. Okay, let me explain again. It's because I'm going all the way around 2 pi, but then I bounce back pi on 4, so I need to minus pi on 4. Is everything making sense? Okay. So then, now girls, again, I don't want you putting these in your calculator unless it's to help you with the fraction. Think of this as pi is like 4 pi on 4, right? So 4 pi on 4 minus 1 pi on 4 is 3 pi on 4. So my answer is 3 pi on 4. And then the other one, 2 pi minus pi on 4, sorry. 7 pi on 4. Do you recognize anything in D? A half. It's the exact value triangle one. So let's draw our triangle. So I've got pi on 6 up here, the smaller one, because dividing by 6 makes it smaller than pi on 3. 1 root 3, 2. Is everyone okay? Everyone's good? Okay, so girls, take a moment and tell me which is the acute angle. So if you want, you could even write acute theta, just because pi on 6 may not actually be an answer. Oh, I just told you. Pi on 6. Is everyone okay? Yeah. Because opposite is 1 and hypotenuse is 2, so my acute theta is pi on 6. But I haven't done the unit circle yet, so I don't actually know if that's one of my final answers. Is everything okay? Unit circle. A, S, T, C. What quadrants can I be in? C and T, is that right? Yes, it is, because sine is negative. Sine is negative here and here. And these angles in here are pi on 6 and pi on 6. So what is theta in terms of pi on 6? Can anyone tell me the first one? Who can tell me the first one? Pi plus pi on 6, because we keep moving around. Is everyone okay with that? Pi plus pi on 6. What's the other one? 2 pi minus pi on 6. So we had a minus and a plus one, and that's okay. 2 pi minus pi on 6. And what do they become? So theta is 7 pi on 6. And then, sorry? 11 pi on 6. Good. So now, exact trig ratio. She's going to do one example. So I want to find sine 5 pi on 4. Okay, so I've got some steps here. I said if it helps, convert the angle to degrees just for you to understand it. But tell me, what quadrant am I in? So let's draw our unit circle. Oops. So 5 pi on 4, does anyone know what quadrant that would be in? T, very good, because 4 pi on 4 is pi. So 5 pi on 4 is a bit bigger, which makes us in T, because that there is 4 pi on 4. So 5 pi on 4 is just a little extra pi on 4, and in T. Okay, now, so I'm there in 5 pi on 4. So, in that case, what does that tell me about sine 5 pi on 4? It's negative. Everyone agrees? Yes? Okay, but I don't know the value, and I want the exact value. The triangle, which triangle is relevant? The second one, the pi on 4. Now, girls, because that's the acute angle here, pi on 4. Does that make sense? So, now, first of all, you might first rewrite it as negative sine pi on 4. So I'm using the acute angle. Then it becomes negative, okay? Up here is pi on 4. Opposite is 1. Over hypotenuse is root 2, and that's it. And that here you're just find each one. Find each one and then sub it into that expression. Do you want to do that one together? Yes? Okay. So, cos of pi on 6, that you can use the triangle directly. So there's pi on 6. What's cos of pi on 6? Root 3 on 2. That should have been quicker. Adjacent over hypotenuse, so root 3 on 2. So, go back to the example. Okay, so I now know that this becomes 4 times root 3 on 2, because that's what cos pi on 6 is. And then I need to find sine of 7 pi on 4. Where is 7 pi on 4? Let's draw a unit circle to figure it out. It is, because it's just short of 8 pi on 4, which is 2 pi. So it's in here, and the little angle is pi on 4. So again, so what does that mean? Sine is negative, yep. So I'm going to be timesing by a negative, and I'm timesing by sine of pi on 4, which I'm just going to write for now, but you could go straight to the answer. All of that equals, now this I can simplify to say 2 root 3. I'm just doing one thing at a time. And then what's sine pi on 4 again? Yes. So finally my answer becomes negative 2 root 3 over root 2. And you can also rationalize the denominator times the top and bottom by root 2. Root 2, what does that become? Negative 2 root 6. And what does the bottom become? 2. And what's nice about that? Cancel out the 2's, and you just get negative root 6 in the end.